Hey, what's going on, guys? Radio Graffiti here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Hawkeye episode 1 and 2. Now, this is a show I intend on doing a episode by episode review, so next week I'll also have my Hawkeye review for episode 3. So make sure you guys stay tuned if you want to stay into the conversation about Hawkeye. I'll be reviewing the entire season 1 each week that an episode premieres. We are now left with episode 1 and 2 for now. And what do we think about the show so far? Well, I'm getting kind of burned out on Marvel shows already. The MCU is really burning me out. I feel like they've done themselves a disservice by stepping away from just movies only. When it was movies only, it felt more like, you only had to watch MCU content like maybe 2 or 3 times a year. But now that they have TV shows, we've had WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we've had Loki, we've had What If, which I didn't watch, by the way. Not to mention, we also had the movies like Black Widow, and then The Eternals, and then Spider-Man. It's just so much shit. And that's just the MCU. That's not even counting the shit on DC's side. So it's just so much superhero shit that you just feel very fatigued by it all. And it all feels very similar, especially these Marvel shows. It just feels like, they just pair up a duo and then have it back and forth, and that's supposed to carry the whole show. It feels like we've watched the same show multiple times. I mean, I like the show so far. It's cool. We'll get into it more in a second, but I don't know. Marvel needs to chill out with all these Marvel shows. I get that it allows them more of a chance to explore their characters that they don't really explore in the movies. But Hawkeye is just a boring character. He's been in the MCU since 2011, 2012. Dude is a boring character, so I'm glad that they're focusing more on Kate Bishop, who is apparently supposed to be replacing him. Hopefully they don't kill him off, because I hate when every time a character gets replaced, they always have to kill him. Or, an actor's done with a role and they always have to kill him. They can retire, right? Or go into hiding. I mean, we just seen it happen with Iron Man and James Bond. Still not with Captain America. We still don't know if he's even alive or not. But regardless, Hawkeye episode 1 starts off with Kate Bishop getting rescued by Hawkeye, which I thought was a very forced way of them trying to connect Hawkeye to Kate Bishop. I don't know why Marvel always feels like everything has to be so fucking connected in this universe. Oh hey, remember that time when Tony Stark dropped a potato chip on the floor? Well, it turns out not long after that, Ironheart was right behind him. Oh hey, remember that time when Thor threw a glass on the ground? Well, it turns out those shards went into a man's knuckles, and that man turned out to be Wolverine. I don't know, just something stupid like that. It just feels like the MCU always has to connect something, just the littlest thing, and make it a big deal. Oh hey, remember that time Hawkeye jumped off that building? Well, it turns out he was saving Kate Bishop too. Get the fuck out of here. No, he wasn't. It reminds me of that time when they said, oh yeah, Iron Man saved Spider-Man in Iron Man 2. Shut the fuck up. Not everything has to be so fucking connected in this universe. The world feels so small. I didn't really like that very much that they connected. I understand what they're going for, but it doesn't really work. Also, when the fuck did Clint get a goddamn hearing aid? What the hell happened to him? Is he as old? We never went through this before with his character. Last time we see him was Endgame, right? Yeah, I don't remember that ever being a factor with his character in Endgame. But whatever, I guess. They never really explained in the show either. Also, how is Clint able to go to a Rogers musical and not get noticed? How is he able to go out in public and nobody notices him? I know it's New York, but they treat the Avengers like fucking celebrities. So you would think Hawkeye an Avenger, going into a musical or just going out in public in general, that would probably create some tension or, an audience. People would want photos with him non-stop. I don't know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me how an Avenger can just walk around New York all the time and just not get harassed by a whole mob of people or anything. Whatever you say, Marvel. But yeah, so far episode 1 and 2, I mean, it's fine, it's cool. The Mafia people were kind of stupid, wherever they were, the sweatsuit people. But I guess they're supposed to be more lighthearted or whatever, I don't know. Okay, I like how Kate Bishop is already messing up. It's more interesting to see a character struggling to be a hero who's not quite a hero yet than to see somebody who's like, oh yeah, I got this. Kind of like what Clint Barton is. He's more just like, oh yeah, I got this. He doesn't really have a personality at all. He's a very boring character. What do we know about Clint Barton? He's a family man. He's good with the bow and arrow, and him and Black Widow have a big history. And that's basically all they explored in this show as well so far. Don't really know much more about him than I already knew before, so hopefully the show gives him more of a personality, but I really don't think it's going to. So yeah, I'm not really excited to see much more of Clint Barton. I'm more excited to see more of Kate Bishop because, well, sorry, but Clint Barton's kind of just a boring character. Episode 1 and 2 is really just setting up the groundwork for the rest of the season, so we'll see where we go from here. So far the action has been, I guess, somewhat decent. It's nothing amazing or anything. It's about your standard Marvel action in a standard Marvel show. I'm just intrigued to see where they go from here with the whole thing about the woman from The Conjuring's husband. Guess we'll see how that plays out. People are saying Kingpin's supposed to show up in this show. We'll see. I kind of wanted to because I feel like that was going to ruin his character because they're not going to be able to make him as well written as he was in Daredevil because, well, the MCU is going to definitely water him down, make him less violent and everything. But we'll see if it actually happens or if it's just a rumor. But yeah, what did you guys think about Hawkeye episode 1 and 2? Let me know down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 3.